since we started using these blocks, 15 homes. Before that it was 10. And in the process of construction, I realized there was a lot of waste that goes into construction. That's one. And then two, I realized that it's very expensive to construct in Uganda. The average Ugandan cannot afford. Less than 1% of Ugandans make 1 million shillings. And in Uganda, to build a decent house, a decent dwelling for your family, would require you at least to be making 3 million per month or 2 million per month. Now, how many Ugandans do you know even make that much if less than 1% are making 1 million shillings? So my whole goal is to build houses that are affordable for people to be able to afford them. This brick makes it very cheap to construct. A 2-bedroom house that I've talked about, that's 48 million shillings to build and complete, would use about 3,500 blocks of these. And if you use 3,500 blocks, that means you're going to use about 3.5 bags to 4 bags of cement. So now let's go to the construction side again. You start constructing, you start putting up your walls. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to be spending sand and cement, that the mortar that's going to be falling. You know, when they put the brick on and they pound it, the cement that falls off, the mortar that falls off, that's all wastage, okay? And then on top of that, after you've built, you're finished constructing, you're going to call somebody to come and chisel the wall to put in plumbing. This brick already has the holes for the plumbing and the conduits. So you're going to be saving on that. Then when it comes to plastering, this brick is already smooth. You just have to literally apply a thin layer of plaster. You don't have to apply too much. We actually advise people to just spray it on. And then you use a planer to flatten it and make it nice and neat. The Tafari interlocking brick is a masonry brick that is built in a module that has 300 millimeters by 150 millimeters by 150 millimeters wide. It's interlocking in that when you are building, you can decide to build without cement or with cement. So these are just interlocking bricks. You bring them together, and then if you build like this and you interlock them, you've built a semi-permanent wall. You have not used any cement and it's strong enough to hold. When you get to the corners, you just do this, okay? Now, the same brick helps you with conduits and plumbing. If you can see, there's these holes here that we have, 1, 2, and when you interlock, these holes line up with the holes in the other bricks, and with it, you can have conduits and plumbing going through all the way down, so you do not have to chisel the wall. The other additional thing that the Tafari interlocking brick has is this 2-inch thick pillar. You are not going to find any interlocking brick or any brick for that matter that's hollow that has this 2-inch pillar. It has this 2-inch pillar and it has this 1 inch and this 1 inch. So when you put it together like this, you are going to have 1 inch, 1 inch, which gives you 2 inches, and this is 2 inches. So if you had another brick here, it will be 2 inches. So you're having 2-inch pillars going through your whole wall, and this is going to make your wall much stronger. Now, how does it work? This collar that you see on top here is what locks the brick in position. So this end is a female end, is what you'd call it, and this is a male end, the collar. The collar locks the brick in the X and the Y direction, so it will lock it in the X this way, and then in the Y this way. Then if you want to go in the Z direction, it's the weight of the brick that holds it down. So when you're constructing and you get to build the ring beam would sit on the wall and would compress these bricks. That way they can't go anywhere. So I know some Ugandans are very scared. They're like, these are not built with any cement. How will they be actually strong? And that's where we have another option. What you would do is you would dip these bricks in a slurry mix of mortar, which is cement mixed with plaster sand. We advise plaster sand because it has small grains. So when you mix that and you make a slurry mortar, you will dip the brick. So you just get this brick and then you dip it in a slurry. and then you would place it on other bricks just like this. And when you place it like this, the slurry mortar will go in between the collar here and the female side of the block, and it will literally hold this brick permanently. That's what you see here. So if you are doing this system where you're going to build a permanent wall like this with this, you are going to save at least 35% in wall construction. How do you save the 35%? You're going to save on logistics, you're going to save on labor, you're going to save on cement, because once you save cement, cement is the biggest cost driver. Once you save cement, you're going to kill 4 birds with 1 stone. That is logistics, labor, and materials, sand that you have to bring, and then also the water. And it becomes more efficient. You will be able to build your walls a lot faster, and the whole construction will go a lot faster.